Hello and welcome. This is the Connection Hub, and I'm Vanessa, a psychic medium who channels messages for the divine and your loved ones. Today, we're going to take a look at what is blocking your success. I have 4 piles here. I'll flip these cards over shortly, but I'm just going to give you a rundown for what is coming up in this video. We are going to start with an angel number in every pile, and then we're going to go into an energy check. And once we get the energy check done, we're going to take a look at what is standing in your way, how you can find relief or find your way out, and then we'll finish everything off by what you can expect in the future. So let's begin. Pile number 1 is 3 of Keys, the chess game. Next, we have 6 of Forces, the waterfall. Number 3 is 1 of Forces, the Akashic field. And then lastly, number 12, the scribe. Once you've decided which pile you'd like to listen to, I have posted those timestamps down below in the description box, and I'll see you there. You have chosen the 3 of Keys with the chess game. Let's just place your card right over here, and we are going to dive right into your angel number. I'm just going to open up to a random page and here to where my guidance is leading me. Okay, so angel number 353, work it, is going to be your message today. Find physical strength. Your angels want you to demonstrate inner strength and discipline by mirroring it in your physical form. Do a challenging exercise today and show yourself what you're made of. If there are skills you need to develop, take note and get to it. From your angel number, we're going to be taking a look at physical health and just different ways that you can nurture your physical body. The more consistent we are in paying attention to our physical well-being and our physical health, the more we're able to ground ourselves and root ourselves in the physical world, which actually allows us to connect even higher with divine guidance that is waiting to help us along our journey. It's like we need to get rooted in the physical in order to shoot our energy up and connect with the higher realms. Maybe doing some research on different ways to perform certain exercises, and then also taking advantage of the YouTube platform and doing exercises from home. Let's go and read the 3 of Keys, the chess game, and see if there's any additional messages in here for you. It's time for you to take an emotional or even an actual step back. The more you get involved and the stronger you hold your position, the more heated the situation may become. Try to maintain an inner peace. Don't participate in any battles or allegiances, but don't let yourself be deceived either. Look at everything coolly and unemotionally. The people around you are serving their own agendas. Try to detach, be objective, and treat everyone involved from a deeper source of wisdom without being misled. There may come a time for you to leave or distance yourself from the situation, but because of circumstances, it may not be here yet. For now, let yourself be a knowing observer and watch. I'm just going to pull cards for your energy check, and we'll see if the message coming through on the angel numbers in terms of health and just like really paying attention to your physical well-being right now was an additional message off the side to this one. But let me pull some cards and we'll see what happens. We are going to start with the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. This is by John Holland. What's blocking you? Forget the name of this deck. And the Archangel Michael deck. Okay, so for your energy check, let's start. Plan. Feel unloved. You deserve someone who can support you emotionally and love you fully. Playing games. You don't need to play games to keep the right one interested in you. Win or lose. Number 5. Let's put this over here. We have the solar plexus chakra. Okay. And we have believe and succeed. And we also have go forward fearlessly. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. Whatever your situation is right now, you don't feel fully appreciated. even more than not feeling appreciated, you're also starting to recognize the toxic behaviors of other people. The next thing I'm seeing is actually you using a coping mechanism of soothing and comforting yourself with food, eating when you're not necessarily hungry, and turning to food to ground you more firmly to the earth. Okay, now the message from the Angel Numbers book is also making sense. So, what you're being encouraged to do with the message that came through from the book is you're being encouraged to actually work with your physical body and work with yourself physically in a different way. So, moving your body instead of filling it up. I'm also understanding the energy around feeling unloved, and I'm seeing the situation between you and this individual, you don't feel heard either. Just looking at playing games here, this other person, the person in your life, if this is a close friend, if it's a romantic partner, it's like they always keep themselves distracted. I'm seeing them actually playing video games, and I'm seeing them playing on their phone. It's like they could care less when you're around or when you're in the room. They have a very dismissive personality about them. It's really like their way or the highway, I'm hearing. And you always feel like you're in this win or lose battle with them. It's like damned if you do and then damned if you don't. There's no right way in approaching them. And I'm also hearing that this is causing some PTSD, like post-traumatic syndrome tendencies within you. You could feel really anxious around this person. You could feel on edge. I'm also seeing the solar plexus chakra is a chakra that gets really enhanced and balanced when we do find a workout routine, when we move the body and we find an outlet through physical fitness. This really supports the root chakra, but also what happens, especially if you decide to do some yoga or Pilates or things that engage your abdominal section, this is also going to really strengthen the solar plexus. This is the chakra below the heart and just above the sacral chakra, the second chakra. So the solar plexus still has to do with the earthly realm chakras and the earthly realm energy centers that we have, but it also supports our willpower. It supports our confidence, our inner strength. It really allows us to move forward in a way that best serves us and best serves our highest good. And Archangel Michael coming through to say, go forward fearlessly. It's like you've been able to tune in really clearly, especially lately. I'm seeing everything about this relationship with this person. You've been getting your indicators for a while now to say, this isn't the one for you. Like, this isn't the relationship for you, and you deserve so much better. When you go forward fearlessly, if you believe in yourself and you believe that you're fully supported, not only supported and protected by Archangel Michael, who is the Archangel of protection, but fully supported and loved by your higher self, by your guardian angel, all of your loved ones in spirit. And if you're of the mindset that your family doesn't choose you, you choose your family, then this is also just in regards to having a really strong system in a group of friends, or at least just one amazing friend that tells you, listen, I've got your back. This could require a plan. When it comes to partnerships and specifically romantic partnerships, it is really important when you find yourself in a very challenging situation with them. And when you notice that you've received all of your indicators that are saying, you know what, I've outgrown this relationship, or this relationship really does not feel good to me. And you've already gone through the motions of how this person is projecting all of their things onto you, and you know how you feel. Now is the time to just take a step back from your emotions. You've already clarified your emotions. Now is the time to plan a little bit more logically and to really sit down and map out what it is you want so that you can clearly see what is happening here is not your future plans. It's not connecting. It's not coming together with what you know you're deserving of. It's not connecting with what you know you want in a relationship. So keep emotions out of it and start approaching this situation with a logical mind. Okay. So if you feel like through the energy check, this is your pile, then I'm going to go ahead and clear these cards, put them away, and we're going to pull some more cards to just figure out what else is standing in your way. We'll pull some cards from Queen of the Moon Oracle. And we'll pull some more cards from Past Life Energy Oracle. I'd like to just thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited about this channel and all of the amazing things happening on it. If you do enjoy this reading, thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my channel. And just remember to turn on the bell notification so you know when I post. Okay, we're starting with the Void, number 1, Blossoming, number 33, Resistant, and lastly, protection. Archangel Michael is so close to you right now. One of the things about Archangel Michael is he carries this incredible sword with him. And I just saw him take his sword out. So in receiving the message that you are protected, if there is anything that makes you feel timid about that or nervous or worried about that, or you're unsure if you are receiving that protection, why don't you go ahead and take this message as an invitation to start speaking with Archangel Michael? Start imagining him just wrapping his love and his protective energy around you, around the place that you live in, around wherever it is that you do go. I specifically heard to put the Resistance card underneath the Void. I can imagine and I can see you looking out to the future and not understanding their being a path forward. It's like, how am I going to get out? You know, when you're in a pitch black room and there is zero light, there's zero cracks in the door, like no window, absolutely nothing. This is something that's actually standing in your way, is not being able to tune into, I don't want to say your imagination, because this isn't about making things up for yourself, but in your creative ability to find a way out or to reimagine what your future could look like outside of the situation of being in such a toxic partnership. There is some sort of resistance going on here for moving into the next phase of your life. And I'm just flashing back and I'm noticing you as a younger child and receiving this idea that you weren't good enough or that you weren't doing everything that you could to put yourself in a higher position or to receive those higher grades because of that old way of thinking or that old message that you received, which is entirely false because you're absolutely remarkable. What this has done is it's created this pattern or it's created this need to show up in the best way possible for the individual that you actually feel really stuck with. And you just keep showing up day after day after day, trying to prove yourself to this person and to this partnership and this relationship. And that's really what's standing in your way, is trying too hard to fill this person's cup and to get approval from this person. You're trying to, or you're living for the approval of this person. And that's what's standing in your way. I'm just hearing that if there isn't a situation from your childhood that you're like tuning into and tapping into on the spot, maybe just write this down, like go into your phone notes or write it down on a piece of paper and just remind yourself, okay, think back. Think back to when this habit of mine started. Think back to when I thought I had to prove myself to other people. Okay, so let's see the past life. Archangel Phanuel, optimism and hope. I'm hearing like you're not lost. You think that you're lost, you think that you're stuck, you think that there's nowhere to go, but this is really telling us that you are about to blossom. Optimism and hope. So not only are you receiving protection from Archangel Michael, but you're also getting infused with optimism and hope. Caretaker, putting others first. This makes sense. So putting others first is another tendency that is standing in your way from actually really caring for yourself and nurturing yourself and proving to yourself and showing yourself how much you actually love yourself. Idyllic memories, peace and tranquility. I'm actually reading this and I instantly flashed back to a couple of relationships that I ended up having to leave myself, like romantic partnerships. And in that, I recognized that I kept looking back. I kept looking back and reflecting on all of the good times, right? What ended up happening in this cycle and pattern of reminiscing too much in the past is I ended up ignoring the things that were happening in the present and in that current moment. The older we get, the more mature we get, and the more we end up learning lessons, like what type of friends we want near us and how to create boundaries and how to speak up for our needs. Even now, when I look back, I can see how many times I rushed relationships in the past and how I didn't slow down. I didn't take my time. I didn't really pause and take notice of all of the things popping up and kind of presenting themselves. I don't want to say as red flags, but as moments of, maybe I should have taken my time with that a little bit more, or maybe I should have allowed for that inner knowing or that indicator I was getting that something wasn't right. If you do take a moment and look back, the ask here is instead of looking back and keeping yourself stuck in your situation by romanticizing how things used to be, and instead taking a look at how things are now, what you can also do is you can take a look back and you can just take notice to all of the red flags and all of the indicators that stood out to you sooner than you gave credit for. It's like, okay, yeah, this situation was absolutely painted with so many reasons that I should have maybe walked away sooner. I think that when you collect all of those reasons and you really truly reflect, and you're entirely honest with yourself with where you missed the mark or where you didn't give your intuition enough credit, then it's going to be easier for you to make that decision to start walking a new path. Next, we have energetic realm, life between lives. This message is really speaking to your ability to empathize with others, just your level of compassion, your level of understanding. And of course, you have, I'm sure, lifetime after lifetime where you were a caregiver. And caregivers really, they are compassionate people. They have such huge hearts and they just want to take care of others. They want to pour their love into others. What's happening right now is you're waking up to the knowledge of just understanding that maybe there are a handful of people in your life that you're putting too much energy towards and they're not reciprocating it or they're not appreciating it as much as you're hoping they would. Okay, so let's remove these and then we're going to go into different ways that you can find your way out of this situation or how you can find relief from this situation. Okay, so we're going to use the Archangel Gabriel deck for this. And the Life Purpose Oracle deck from Doreen Virtue as well. Those flew out. That's perfect. Okay, let's go with the Life Purpose cards first. You have animals, music, and travel. That's beautiful. So I'm not sure about these areas influencing your life purpose. However, I will read the cards. It's time to get away. It is absolutely time to travel. It's time for just a different scene. It's time for a different environment. It's time for you to step away from everything that you're really used to right now, like the same pattern, the same everything. It's like breaking the cycles of how you're living your life. The last relationship I left, I ended up breaking up with him, packing a suitcase, and staying over at a friend's place for like maybe a week or so before deciding to just go back home, going back to the apartment, grabbing some more things, and coming to my parents' house. And in that time, I actually also planned a trip to go visit my brother in another country. and there was a moving truck booked. Everything was booked, and all of my things ended up moving directly into a storage place. Like, my ex was there to welcome all of the moving guys, and he packed all of my things. The moving guys like picked everything up, put them into a storage container, and that was that. Maybe there's something around just packing up your belongings and doing the same thing. I'm hearing, like, arrange for moving people to come in and to grab your things, or you do them with a friend when your partner isn't in the space, and you put them in a storage container, removing yourself from the environment that you're in right now and arranging in whatever way you need to make that happen. Like, leave the country, go to a different city, whatever it is you can do to just get away from that environment and go off the grid. Like, take a vacation if you can leave from work, or just go somewhere for a little bit that no one knows you, so that you can gather your thoughts, so that you can cry, so you can purge all of the energy that you've held on to, or all of, like, just the old energy that needs to leave your system. Purge, 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 cry. If you can get somewhere with an ocean so that you can go swimming in salt water, that would be amazing. Music is also going to be extremely healing for you right now, as well as animals. If you have an animal, lean on your animal. I'm also seeing for someone that there is an animal in this partnership, and you may also have to walk away from this animal as well. I am hearing, though, that they understand and they love you so much, and they'll come back. Like, they'll come back for you in another life. It's not goodbye forever. It's just a goodbye for right now. That was really sweet. Pay attention to music and some song lyrics that are coming up. You're going to find a lot of guidance. You could actually even hear places and different areas that you should travel to right now in those songs. Take those as just points of inspiration with your next moves. Next, we have vision board. Create a board with images and words that inspire you. You can create a vision board. I'm seeing for you to go into Canva or to do something digitally. This is because if you do decide to take the guidance that's coming in for you in just finding relief and finding your way out, you're going to want to create like the least amount of physical things to move. So by creating a vision board, you could do this easily on Canva. I've done a couple of vision boards for myself there. You could just write down a couple of things that you want for yourself on a piece of paper. And then once you get to Canva, your full creative outlet can really spark. You can find a whole bunch of different images. Or you could even go and search in Google for different images and save them to your desktop and pull them into Canva. But a vision board could be really helpful for you right now in terms of finding ways to create the future that your heart and soul desires for you. I'm hearing so loud and clear, like, now is the time to start living for you and not living for other people, not looking for other people's approval. And I see you're doing amazing with this. You're just entirely covered in a lot of yellow light right now, which means I think even just hearing this message and hearing what's possible for you is already filling you with confidence to move forward. Next, we have writers group. Create or join a writer's group to gain inspiration. Okay, the other thing you could do is actually journal or write in a notebook. You could write up any dreams that come up for you, like write in the morning. You could write also a gratitude list. A really helpful piece to the gratitude puzzle, I should say, is include your why. Scientifically, there's something in the brain that shifts when we include our why. And I'm sure even just with this short example, you can understand the concept behind that. So if I were to write in a gratitude journal or just write down on a piece of paper or claim out loud, I am so grateful for my bed, and then move on to the next thing. I am so grateful for the sun in the sky. I'm expressing my gratitude, but I'm not really going deep with it. And it's not something that on a cellular level, I'm really feeling into. So if I were to say, I'm so grateful for my bed because, oh my gosh, I had a fantastic sleep last night. My body was just held in the most comfortable way. My sheets are soft and so warm, and I absolutely love my pillow. I feel entirely rested, and I know that it's because of my bed. And then I am so grateful for the sun in the sky because it really uplifts my spirits. And I just love seeing all of God's creation under his bright light. So if we can include our why behind the things that we're grateful for, then it really allows us to feel into that gratitude a little bit more than just quickly listing off a couple of things. Whatever it is you can find, express that and express it with a why. Next, we have pay attention to your dreams. Amazing. Okay. So sharing that story about leaving my ex, I actually was having dreams for a year and a half about leaving him before I made the decision to. I would speak about it out loud with some friends here and there, but in my dreams, I constantly received this dream that we would break up. And I'd wake up the next morning, I would feel really sad about it and really icky about it. It's like, oh, why did I have that dream? But really, I was having that dream because my higher self was coming to me and communicating to me that this would be for my good. He ended up meeting someone very shortly after we had split, and he ended up marrying that person and also having a child with her. So, I mean, win-win, right? I became happier and so much healthier. I came to understand myself and what it is I value, and just my life really feels abundant. And he also, wasn't left high and dry. Like, everything turned out for him as well, and everything worked out for his highest good as well. So these are all areas, or these are all things, tools and methods that you can tap into right now to just find your way out of what feels like a challenging situation, disappointing someone else. It can be really uncomfortable, and I understand the predicament that you're in, but I can also promise the moment you tune into your intuition about this and just take a step back and logically look at the situation you're in with all of the information your emotions have provided for you over this time, you're going to understand the choice that you need to make. Okay, so I'm going to clear these, and then we're going to pull some cards for the outcome that you find yourself in if you do follow this advice. I love your reading. Okay, so we're being guided to the Romance Angels deck. Let's see. What is their outcome? Okay, so playfulness just popped right side up, right off the bat. You're going to feel like the weight of the earth is entirely lifted off of your shoulders. You know what card I'm seeing is it resilient? I have to get it for you. Here. Yeah, resilience card. Work through this, and this load, all of this heaviness is going to drop off of your back, and you're going to feel like an entirely new person, just full of energy. Like, you're going to tap into the vibrancy of a really young soul. Next, we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. I'm hearing you're going to find the one. And then lastly, we have let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. If you're hearing these messages and your mind is already plaguing you with the what ifs, like, what if it takes me forever to find the next partner? What if I make a huge mistake? What if they change? What if? Whatever your what if is, I'm hearing it holds no merit. Allow for the magic of the universe to really support you at this time. Allow for Archangel Michael's protection to come in and really support you. Allow for the divine energy of love to come in and show you what is possible for your life. You have chosen the Six of Forces, the waterfall. Welcome to your reading. Let's just put your card right over here, and we will start with your angel number. Your angel number today is 668, break, reconnect with self. Smartphones, television, and other forms of technology are causing you to detach from self and spirit. Your angels are letting you know that recently these things are creating more anxiety than joy and connection. Schedule a long break today away from all these devices. There could be an influencer that's heavily in your feed right now, and as you're watching their content, there's like a huge portion of you that thinks it's really positive and it's really helpful, but subconsciously something is actually happening internally and it's causing self-doubt, it's causing lack of worth, and it's making you question if you can live up to that potential. It could even be as simple as you admiring the way that they look and asking how you could achieve such things yourself. Overall, I'm hearing that there's just a need right now to detox from your cell phone, that there's even something around the Bluetooth technology that's affecting your energy right now. Now's also a really great time for you to just take short walks outside or long walks, and then also to take Epsom salts baths. If you don't have a bath available, you could put Epsom salts in warm water into a foot soak and just soak the energy out of the feet. When we use Epsom salts, it really draws the toxic energy and toxicity out of the physical body. Okay. So we're going to begin by reading the Six of Forces to see if it has any other messages for us. The waterfall. The element of water is fluid. Oh, of course I'm seeing to recommend Epsom salts baths. Okay, amazing. Let's continue. The element of water is fluid. Like the waterfall, your personal energy never stops. Your life force is never ending. It springs from your eternal past and roars into your limitless future, extending into the furthest reach of the universe. It is a time of deep thought and even deeper emotions, as well as expansion of physical energy. Use this time to act on these and tap your power that is ever flowing. So the vision I'm receiving is, first, I was seeing that right now you're at the precipice of a massive change, like a really big shift in your life. And this is an overall energetic shift. Your intuition is really, really eager to like tune in and tap in on a higher level. And your intuition has been trying to get your attention to just navigate you down different paths, navigate you away from ways that you're spending your time that could be unhealthy for you and really that are proving to be unhealthy for your energy, and more so into just a different way of experiencing life and experiencing your everyday. We're going to get some cards for your energy check. That was Queen of the Moon Oracle. I'm also being guided to use the Past Life Energy Oracle. It's very interesting. And the Archangel Michael Oracle. I love that. Archangel Michael came up in the first pile too. Cool. And one card from the Talisman Oracle. Okay, let's start with the Moon Goddess Oracle. Nourishment, number 7. Let's put that down there. Extremes, self-love. We have knowledge. Isolation, lack of connections. Oh, okay. Physical issues, illness, accident, injury. And Archangel Gabriel, communication of all kinds. Let's put that over there. And amazing. Go forward fearlessly. Archangel Michael. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. With the isolation card and the lack of connections, I'm seeing spending time alone or just like doing your own thing, really. Even if you're in a room full of people, you feel really comfortable here. It's pretty automatic for you to just, I'm understanding, isolate yourself, like maybe to not really speak up, maybe not to engage as much as other people. You're okay in public forums, like you're okay with other company around you, but I want to say even when you are with other people, you're most comfortable keeping yourself slightly isolated. It's like when two magnets repel and they kind of push away from one another. They don't come tight and close together. This is something I'm seeing in your energy. It's kind of like, I'm hearing why bother, why try? Like, why try connecting with other people? You actually find yourself feeling most nourished on your own. But then sometimes you can actually surprise yourself. And when you do step out of your comfort zone, or when you do connect with others a little bit more, you find it nourishes you. In the physical issues, illness, accident, injury, I'm noticing someone with lower back pain, and I'm actually seeing, if you're open to it, I'm actually seeing a removing of this lower back pain, like just some ease. The removing of is energetic. You could also seek out a chiropractor just to get some hands-on, like physical work done on you. This is, I mean, there's a couple of situations coming in. I'm seeing someone like walked into something funny on the street, and it shifted their hips, and in that it threw their lower back. With the extremes here, this is just talking about really overdoing it, having an addictive personality, and just recognizing an addictive personality is going to be extremely helpful, because then you can really gauge how you start spending your time throughout the day and calculating your day in different increments of time. So deciding where it is you want to place your focus and divvying up all of the hours available to you in different areas. Right now is the time where you could be noticing you're spending way too much energy in one specific area of your life, and you've been picking up on and sensing that it's time to either stop a habit that you have or to cut down on that habit significantly. Also pairing that with the knowledge card, this is telling me that you have a really bright, I want to say future. Maybe this is something that you're aware of. Maybe you're working really hard towards a certain career right now. You could be studying for a very prestigious career, but you do have a bright future ahead of you. I'm also noticing, just picking up on the angel's number message about dropping like social media, just getting away from electronics. Maybe that's your way of taking a break from studying, or taking a break from your classes, or working extremely hard throughout the day. Maybe you're someone that just likes to come home and crash in bed or crash on the couch and just zone out on the phone. With self-love, you do love yourself. You have a really nurturing aspect, or really nurturing qualities about yourself. This is something that your friends are aware of. You nurture your friends, and you have a very soft and kind personality when it comes to your family. The other thing I wanted to say in knowledge that I was picking up with the knowledge card is, because you are extremely bright, not only is your future going to be filled with amazing things, but I'm also understanding that the way you absorb information is, I want to say, even more extreme than the way other people are able to absorb information. You know what's interesting is I was watching a TikTok of this woman saying she listens to everything really, really quickly because, quote unquote, like, people just talk too slowly. Maybe you don't have a lot of patience, or maybe you notice that you could exercise a little bit more patience in areas of life. The Archangel Gabriel card with communication of all kinds. I'm seeing someone going through like their home screen on their phone, and they're just sporadically clicking from their email to YouTube to TikTok to Instagram to Snapchat to Twitter. And there's a need right now to slow down because of all of this action, like on the phone, is actually firing a bunch of different brain waves in you right now that are more harmful than helpful. Nourishment was the first card that I unfolded, and I was specifically asked to put it under the waterfall. Nourishment also has this beautiful waterfall, this stream of water coming off of the moon. There could be something about hydrating yourself right now, drinking more water, definitely taking those Epsom salt soaks. You could even put some essential oils into the water as well. There's something about using the element of water to bringing yourself back into balance with your own natural flow. Okay, let's get to the rest of your reading. I'm just going to go ahead and start clearing these off. Okay, so what is standing in your way? We're going to start with the sacred destiny. Here we go. And we'll use the Past Life Oracle deck. This is the Doreen Virtue Past Life. Okay, so starting here, we have purity. Okay, what's standing in your way? You had said something to someone, I'm seeing like in your teens, maybe in your 20s, and it wasn't received very well. And you felt embarrassed, you felt ashamed. This really enticed you to close down. There's something about communication, and there's something about not being able to trust the words that come out of your mouth. So, like I was seeing in the last section of your energy, like you have such a pure, beautiful energy about you. You enjoy people, but you're just stuck in a situation, or you're stuck in a pattern where isolating yourself and keeping your thoughts and keeping to yourself feels a little bit easier than coming out in the open and really engaging with others. Next, we have delight. You're such a beautiful person. We have forgiveness. And we have pleasure. Okay, so what's standing in your way? I'm hearing there's blocks around forgiveness. If you can go back to that memory, or if that energy is resonating, maybe you even stood up for yourself, or you said something at work. Maybe you said something during a meeting or during a brief. You had something to share and it wasn't received. If you can go back to that scene, close your eyes, take a nice big deep breath, and reimagine the outcome as being different. Shift and change the energy around what happened during that scenario. You could even journal later, and you can get really curious and ask, like, was everything okay with that person? Get curious as to why they responded the way that they responded, and you might actually be surprised with what it is you uncover. I'm hearing that you can know. It's okay for you to know. It's okay for you to lean into your intuitive guidance and lean into the messages that your higher self has, and to also connect with the higher self of that person. It's like, well, why did they react that way? Like, what's their conditioning? Watch the layers just peel away from you in terms of how that situation has kept you stuck, and then pour forgiveness into that scenario and into every scenario along those lines, just so that your soul feels more confident with expressing itself more. Oh, yeah. And even Archangel Gabriel was coming out in your energy check as well. With Archangel Gabriel coming up for you, this is the Archangel of communication. So you could also bring him into the conversation and talk to him and ask him questions, and just turn to him for a little bit more guidance in working around this scenario. What is standing in your way? Let's turn these cards around to see if we have an even better idea. Biblical, medicine man or woman, you're so wise, that's for sure. Imprisonment or slavery, so that goes back to the isolation, past life energy, and then trust and faith. Is there something around your faith, or is there something around your values that you shared with someone over here and they just didn't, like, they didn't take to you? I know that you're really intuitive, and I know that you're really smart, and I don't even have to ask. Like, I know you have wisdom that streams through you. It's just figuring out what is standing in your way. And I think that there's a lot of past life healing that can be looked at right now, and just a lot of like curiosity around past lives. You could always look at the past life meditation, and you could tune into your clairvoyance and your inner sight to help guide you. Or if you feel like your clairvoyance is a little blocked right now, you could could always sit and do some journaling and writing around this and just allow for your inner feeling to guide you in really intuitive ways. I just have a feeling that you shared something about spirituality or something about faith or religion, something like quote unquote woo-woo to someone, and it wasn't received well. And what that did is it allowed for that imprint of a past life where you were imprisoned for maybe your intuition or your ability. There's something kind of like witchy around this, like you're able to connect with the earth, you're able to connect with the elements in really beautiful ways. Your intuition is extremely strong. You could very well sit and do readings, do healing sessions with others. There's something like old energy, and this scenario, whenever this happened with this person, it happened for really good reason, and you were being guided to understand that you have past life energy, like shackles and chains around you that need releasing. They need healing. They need to be looked at, and they need to be nurtured and loved for. Yeah. And I was just noticing in the forgiveness here, I was tuning in and I could see you having a conversation with this person. And it's like, it's okay. I understand that you weren't aware of what it was I was talking to. And I understand the position that you're in. You're not at fault. It's in this forgiveness, you're going to have more understanding. Oh, what is the name of that book? I hate forgetting the name of books. What is it called? I forget the name of this one book, but there's this book that I read. And if you know the book, please comment it down below, because it's driving me a little bit cuckoo for forgetting the name of this book. But there's this book and it just describes reincarnation, really, and people coming back X amount of times and reincarnating in specific phases. So it just describes basically the journey of the human on Earth. And when people are in really fresh incarnations, like just a fresh couple of times of coming to Earth, they're likely going to live in rural areas or, the jungle or something like this, just so that they can get used to the physical body. They can get used to being on the physical plane. Then they die, they come back, and they're in this cycle, like all of us, this reincarnation cycle. And every time they reincarnate, they come back to learn even greater lessons. The purpose of the book is to just understand that when people are born, they're born with only the knowledge and the wisdom that they received in all of their past incarnations. We can't expect everyone to be absolutely up to date with spiritual lessons and everything else. It's like God doesn't just throw us into the ring and say, okay, like, you're amazing. You can see everyone eye to eye. There's lessons to learn and there's things to experience. And through this, kind of like a video game, the more we come here, the more we experience, the more we learn, the more levels we break through, and the higher we travel on the spiritual path. Understanding that, you're also going to understand that there was really nothing this person could have done any differently. And just like the message came through before, they were specifically put on your path for you to realize that there are still things in your own energetic field that need tending to, just so that you can become the confident, magnificent being that you are. So what is standing in your way is maybe this imprisonment, persecution. Maybe there were a lot of lives, or even just a handful, where you died unjustly because of your divine connection to source and the things that you are able to communicate and help others with. It can make you feel a little bit nervous because obviously in past lives it just didn't work out too well. I'm rowing in the boat with you. It didn't work out too well for many of us. But because you are in this current life, you're safe and you're entirely able and being encouraged to express yourself in the highest way possible. Okay, so let's clear these off and we'll see how you can find like a way out from isolating yourself right now, and a way out from maybe feeling stuck in not finding ways to comfortably express yourself. Yeah, Epsom salts baths will be helpful. I'm even seeing you putting rose quartz in those baths, as well as sage, cleanse your energy. Have protection prayers in the morning. Thank Archangel Michael for his protection. Thank Archangel Gabriel for guiding your words, guiding your conversations with others. I'm going to pull cards from the Work Your Light deck. One more. And from the Soul's Journey deck. Okay, so we'll start here. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Oh, my love, you have a beautiful and very prosperous future ahead of you. I'm hearing turn the next card, but break down the blocks, break down the barriers standing in your way. A council of light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Don't dim to fit in. Okay. Next we have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Ooh, you know what I'm seeing for you is getting into the Akashic records. So this card right here, it comes out of the Akashic Tarot, and this is by Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. If you can find their work and start studying the Akashic records and going into your Akashic records during meditation, I'm not sure if that would interest you, but there's something really super divine about you, and going into your Akashic records right now is going to be really helpful. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, definitely call on Archangel Michael for sure. This type of work, it took me time. It really took me time to be really comfortable and really confident with sharing what it is I do. And in that, I found it to be really helpful to sit and to have sessions with people and to receive feedback. It really built my confidence receiving feedback. And from there, God was showing me time and time again, session over session, that it was undeniable. He was working through me. And that's the message that he's bringing to you. God wants to make sure that you're aware that you are such a beautiful vessel of his light. At the top of every reading, I really just thank God. I thank Jesus for using me as their vessel of information and messages and exactly what it is that I need to say in hopes to really support you who's listening. And this is a position that I see for yourself. This is something that you'll find a lot of fulfillment in. It's just figuring out how to get you onto that trajectory. Next, we have fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Yeah. So blasting through that fear, really working through that fear, facing fear. You know, in A Course of Miracles, something that is said is only love is real. So if it's not showing up as love, it's more or less, I just want to say, like a figment of the imagination. Like it doesn't exist. It's not real. Fear is not real. Worry is not real. Change the pattern, change the habit in the mind when fearful thoughts come up or worrisome thoughts come up. It's that reminder of if our thoughts aren't loving, they're not ours, right? And so if you notice that you're having fearful thoughts or thoughts full of worry, they're not yours. And you do have the wisdom in you. You do have that ability to turning directly to your higher self and saying, is this thought even mine? Next, we have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Maybe there's something funny that you can watch. Staying away from like scary things and staying away from, even listening to just like low vibrational music, paying attention to the lyrics happening in the music that you're listening to. Lift up your spirits, find relief through humor. Maybe you can go to a comedy show, or you can look up comedy acts on YouTube, or you can maybe even find a really funny book to sink your teeth into. Lastly, we have pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Yeah, remembering that connectedness that we have with everyone. So how do you find relief? You understand that we're all one. We all just understand different things and we live our life differently, but we are all one. We all come from the same source and we're all just here doing our best, doing our best and moving on. Okay, so I'm going to remove these. What deck are we going to pull our next cards from? Okay, if you do follow this guidance, if you find ways to really start speaking your truth and showing up as your authentic divine self, if that's working in your Akashic records, discovering the Akashic records and studying them and figuring out how to go in, how to come out, sitting in meditation, maybe booking a session with me or booking a session with another reader that you would feel really supported by, finding funny things to watch and just making sure that the habits you do have are uplifting, going outside for walks, stepping away from social media. Like there's this breakthrough that wants to happen with your intuition right now, and just like the Bluetooth and the 5G, like all of this stuff, like it's affecting your energy, and your energy just needs an overall cleanse. So if you can do all of those things, we're going to pull from the Queen and Moon Oracle, and we're just going to see what your potential outcome could be. And there's one more. We have will, number 13 could be relevant. We have power. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love you guys. Okay. We have pleasure. Yes. Love you. And we have darkness. Okay. With the darkness, I'm inspired to say that like the moments of isolation you have, you're still going to have like your quiet time. You're still going to have that isolated aspect of yourself in terms of your community and your friend group and your family group, but in a very expansive way. It's like your angels and your guides are going to be so close to you, and you're going to have such amazing lines of communication with them that this aspect of isolation is just going to look like that from the physical standpoint, but you're not isolated at all because you're engaging in conversation with the energetic realm, loving beings from the energetic realm, and you're constantly open to the next line of thought, the next thing to do, the next way to serve yourself and to serve your highest good. So everyone with physical eyes watching how you go about living your life in the physical world, it could maybe seem like you're still keeping to yourself when in fact it's not like that at all, and you're actually so open to all of the angels and all of your guides, and you are just having a field day with them. It looks like you're isolated, but you're not, in a really powerful way. A lot of magic, a lot of intuition, a lot of really gorgeous aspects to your energy are being birthed. You're basically setting yourself up to experience the world and experience life around you in a whole other way, in a very empowered way and in a very powerful way. Every aspect of your life, your relationships, your career, your environment, your conversations, what you do for yourself, every aspect of your life is going to be guided through your inner power. And you're just going to notice how things line up for you in the most magical ways. You're going to become very confident, and that fear is just being entirely smashed out of existence. It doesn't exist anymore for you. There's a lot of pleasure waiting for you. And I'm also really interested in this will card. So let's read number 10. Let's read that. Okay. Will feels like a very old-fashioned concept. In a modern world where it seems like everything is geared up to be as easy as possible, or there is always someone else to blame, the idea of placing our personal will persistently into something seems quaint. When we decide we're going to change something in our lives, let's say a particularly negative pattern or bad thought, breaking the old way we do things can be difficult. The change requires a concentration of our will. We may want to change, but it is our will that means we stay on the path to that change. To be willful means we have the power of control over our own actions, and that will fires up the persistence we need to get what we want. Okay, so in reading that, the outcome waiting for you is, I'm just noticing that there could have been a lot of things that you desired, maybe a lot of things you wanted, a lot of things you wanted to manifest. Maybe you've just been noticing that life's kind of come to a bit of a standstill for you. In order to achieve your greatest dreams and your desires, you're going to have to start living more authentically to who it is you are. Is it starting the reading business? Is it starting your healing business? Whatever it is you do want to do in terms of bringing your power to life for others, first start with empowering yourself, making the changes for yourself in order to really honor and understand who it is you are. And then you can open yourself up. I'm seeing like a flower to start nourishing and nurturing other people. I'm hearing it's your destiny too. This darkness card is really just filling me with the knowledge that meditation is going to be more sought out, because the more you tune into and tap into your power and realize who you are and the things that, like the magic that happens within you, your wisdom and the knowledge that you actually have about energy, about love, about God, about yourself, your higher self, and how you can help others understand that. When you do get quiet and when you do go into meditation, you actually feel even more inspired to expand and get to know yourself in your entirety, like the fullness of who you are. And it just feels really empowering and really amazing and very exciting. You have chosen the one of forces, the Akashic field. Welcome to your reading. I'm just going to place your card right there, and we're going to go right into the angel numbers book. Okay, your angel number for today is 256. Optimism. Focus on the good. Your angels want you to be optimistic about what is to come. Although it's important to acknowledge both the good and the bad in life, your angels want you to spend more time focusing on the good today. After the day goes on, make a list of all the wonderful things you see and experience, no matter how small. That's really beautiful. A few years ago, I was listening to a podcast, and there was a guest that was speaking on someone's platform, and they were discussing gratitude. And he had mentioned that when we include our why with what we're grateful for, chemically, something in the brain actually allows us to sink deeper into the feeling, into that acknowledgement of what it is we're grateful for. We can say, I am very grateful for my bed. But if we pause and we actually consider why we're grateful for our bed, the chances of us recognizing that gratitude on a cellular level is going to be higher. Just by listing a few other things that support the why is really going to help you right now. Okay, so the one of forces. Let's see if there's more messages in this book for you, and then we are going to tune in to more of your energy to make sure that this is a pile that you're excited to listen to. Your life force resonates with universal synchronicity. So you can explore the records and receive exactly the information that you need and the energy that can help. Engage in the pursuit with a conscious focus. Write your intentions and ask for inspiration. Meditate on the Akashic field and visualize your goals. The universe is ready and willing to align with your heartfelt desire, and now is the time to make them happen. On the note of gratitude, I have been witness to see the most amazing things happen to people in their life. There was actually someone who I know, and they came into a very big windfall, but leading up to that windfall, I also noticed that their energy around gratitude and just expressing what they were thankful for was in quite abundance. They were always expressing their gratitude. And of course, you never know the shifts that are going to happen in your life, but I will attest, in expressing gratitude, in saying thank you, in really exploring the things that they were so happy to have in their life, it opened up the door for them to receive so much more. We are going to go into your energy check now. I am going to start with the Shadow Work Oracle cards. It is lovely to have you here. I'm so excited for everything happening on this channel. And there's one more. I'm just looking out the window and I'm noticing a blue jay. And when we see the blue jay, it really speaks to speaking up and sharing what's on your mind, using your voice. And I'm hearing using your voice for good. We are also going to pull some energy check cards out of the magical messages from the fairies. It's a Doreen Virtue deck. And there's one more. We are going to grab 2 cards from the past life deck for you. Okay. And 1 card from the Whispering Heart Love Oracle. Okay. A lot of cards. We'll see. Okay, energy check. Whispering Heart, we have love stories, communicating and saying what needs to be said. Tough love, truth talk. We have transportation, trust and faith. Okay, great. We have autumn, do some research, sun, affirmations. Okay, phenomenal. Divine juggling, master different aspects of yourself, both light and dark. Progress and inner harmony. Confront fears. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Next, we have authentic self. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. And then lastly, we have lack of awareness, missed chances, and unseen risks. Seek facts and stay open-minded. Insight and opportunity. I am placing that card right in there. So there are things currently that you're trying to manifest or you're trying to make happen for you. You have a really great idea of where it is you want to go, what it is you desire to call into your life. And the impression I'm receiving is actually a pattern and habit I repeated for years. And that is being too nervous to take the first step. And if it's not being nervous about taking the first step, it's falling back and not staying consistent with the work required in order to get you from point A to point B, and then C, D, E, all the way through to Z. When it comes to manifesting, when it comes to wanting things, I truly believe that God plants the seed of desire in our mind, and in our heart, he then speaks and says, if this desire is something that you're interested in and you really want to go for it, just let me know and we can work together towards making this happen for you. And in that, I know that I myself, I've gotten really excited about, I want to do that. Let's do that. And all of this creative inspiration would come to me, but I wouldn't act on it. I would be either too nervous that I wasn't good enough, or I didn't know where to start, or I had so many creative ideas and so many different ways to get to this destination God had inspired within me that I instantly felt way too overwhelmed, and I kept pushing my timeline back and back and back and back. I promise you that if I knew then what I know now, I would have done more. I would have put more action behind the things that I wanted in my life. I put action and I did a lot of learning, but I didn't take myself out of learning. I kept myself really cocooned in the learning phase for a really long time. And this could be something that you're currently going through right now, doing some research. And it's funny because when I pulled this card over, when I flipped it over, I knew that you were learning things. You're learning new techniques or you're learning different subjects. It's fantastic to expand the mind in this way, but don't stop yourself from putting what you're learning into practice because you think someone else is more knowledgeable behind it. The other thing coming up is through the Akashic field and through the affirmations card, it's like you're ready and you know you're ready. You're just maybe wondering when you're going to get a lucky break, when things are going to start for you. I have an SEO manager who's been amazing to work with, and I'm going to list his contacts down below, because if you are someone looking to expand and looking to really start branching out on social media, and you're excited about making the content but just not reaching the masses, then you can go ahead, please reach out to him, because he's just been an absolute dream for me to work with. So I'm watching you praying. I'm watching you putting your affirmations out there. I'm watching you practice your faith in a number of different ways. Your faith isn't in question. You have very strong faith, and your faith in God, your faith in your life plan is actually really, really beautiful to feel into and really remarkable to pick up on. It's like your faith is much bigger than a mustard seed. And we all know that as long as we show up to the task at hand with faith, just as big as a mustard seed, then mountains can move and miracles can unfold and things can happen. You're being celebrated for that. And you're just being asked to hold on. Just hold on. The autumn time could be significant to someone for a number of different reasons. Maybe your birthday is in autumn. Maybe you made some shifts to your own personal life and you decided to walk away from one career and go towards another in the autumn time. And I'm even seeing here in the sun card, you could have someone young in your life, if that's a son, if it's a nephew, or if it's just a younger energy. I'm hearing that they really inspire you right now. You're starting to understand who you are. This is really exciting. It's like you've broken through the precipice. You've gone through different layers, different stages of your development and of your growth mentally, spiritually, emotionally. It's like you're getting closer and closer to the awareness of who you are on a soul level. You're really, really beautiful. My eye is going into the love stories, communicating and saying what needs to be said. Oh, and we started the reading more or less with a blue jay as well. I'm watching you like affirming and saying things in the mirror. I'm watching you affirming and speaking out loud to what it is you desire. And I'm also seeing your level of communication is extremely strong, and you have the confidence to speak in front of really large groups. There could be, I just noticed I received confidence for someone, and then for someone else, I was receiving an anxiousness around public speaking or around speaking in front of a large group. If this is you, right now you're just being encouraged to peel back those layers a little bit and to figure out why. Lastly, with the transformation, but it's not. It's transportation. Around this transportation card, I'm hearing no, and I'm hearing that transformation was supposed to come out for that card. So you are at a very transformational time in your life at the moment. I love this. So if this is your reading, that you'll definitely know. And I'm going to clear these cards away. And from there, we're going to get into what's standing in your way. What is standing in your way in terms of just excelling and moving your life in the next direction you really on a soul level want to work towards. Okay. First, let's pull some cards from the Moonology Oracle deck. So what is standing in your way? Next, we'll pull cards from the Romance and Love deck. And lastly, we'll pull cards from the Spirit Animal deck. So what is standing in your way? First, we have Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. I'm hearing fear, doubt. When I was seeing the Buffalo Spirit, I was like, wow. Like, it really feels like there's nowhere to turn. It really feels like there is this massive obstruction in your way and there's nowhere to go. You just keep hitting up against this wall. The number on this card is a number 10, which is symbolic of closures and the ending of circumstances, and then the new beginning of something fresh. Next, we have the answers you need are coming. I am hearing that you're coming to the end of a karmic cycle. It could have felt like you were just running on this hamster wheel over and over and over again and expending so much energy and putting so much of yourself into your work, into your studies, into your desires and wanting things to grow, but it was like you just kept hitting into this wall. And it's not like a wall of a figment of imagination. I understand that wall, and it can be really challenging for other people to grasp it and for other people to understand. The only thing that others see as an amount of success or an accumulation of success is just everything they can see on the outside. We get into the material aspect of living, and a lot of time people will measure up against that. I'm picking up that if it's your community or your friends or your family, they just don't understand why your legs and your feet keep moving, but you're not propelling forward. You're kind of like moving and staying in the same spot. I'm here to tell you that you're doing nothing wrong. I'm also seeing and I'm watching, like, throw the stopwatch out the window, and if you can, do your best in trying not to measure your life by a clock. The karmic cycle of just being stuck is so close to ending for you. Like, you really are almost there. And just as I said that, I was looking down at the buffalo spirit card and I could see the buffalo evaporating, which is really beautiful. Next, we have the have faith in your dreams. Do not let go of your dreams. Don't get frustrated. Don't stop. Don't turn your trajectory and go into another direction. It's just finding ways to stay consistent with yourself in tuning in and getting quiet and looking for divine guidance on your next moves. Have faith in your dreams, but just loosen the reins a little bit. And I'm sure we can get into that with how to find relief or how to find your way out. That's coming up in the next section. But just have faith in your dreams and keep affirming. Next, we have surrender to the divine. Allow for the divine to come in a little bit more. Allow for the divine to really present to you and provide for you what it is you need. And just knowing that we don't know what we need half of the time. We know what we want, but we don't necessarily know what we need. And that guidance is coming in for you. Just surrendering, like, loosen your control, loosen that element of like, no, it has to be done this way and this way and this way. The more you drop the control, the more you're going to actually open yourself up to really different ways to present things or different ways to understand the topics that you're learning. Lastly, with the Moonology cards, we have a fiery climax approaches. When I was reading this card, I could see someone like feeling really frustrated, and that frustration kind of lingering inside a little bit too long to the point of explosion, and just releasing this anger, if it's in conversation or just getting super frustrated when you're alone and like losing it. Feel the emotions coming up. I would never suggest not feeling them. I did that for decades, and oh my gosh, the work it takes to just release all of that old energy that's been trapped is something. So I would never suggest ignoring these strong emotions, but allow yourself to really speak to the ways that you're feeling sooner than later. You could be getting frustrated or impatient, but it's important to recognize that and to not just like blow it over and forget that it's even occurring in your life. Because when that happens, I'm just noticing the energy of frustration stays stuck in you and it needs that release. So if you want to go for a jog, I would say it would be important for you to find some sort of outlet, like figuring out some sort of outlet to allow for this energy to disperse and not be held within you. The X, more so than the X, I am just picking up on the past. You know what? One of the first things that I heard this morning when I woke up from last night's slumber was nothing matters before today. Nothing matters before today. And I thought, wow, that is a slice of wisdom I could sink my teeth into. And it's so true. Any of the worries, any of the fear, any of the partnerships that didn't work out, anything that just didn't work out in the past, find some resolve, find some peace with that. But remember, like, nothing matters except for today. Nothing in the past holds merit. Next, we have true love, a deep and enduring connection going beyond superficial attraction. Just sticking to the theme of career and the theme of transformation in this realm of taking everything that you've been studying, everything you've been learning, and really showing up for yourself in authentic ways and really expressing those things that you've learned, you're absolutely going to fall in love with it. And what I'm hearing is there could be some trepidation around this. There could be a lot of like, oh, but what if? Don't get into your own way with this. I've been there too. This is why I understand where you are right now in the energy of just standing in your own way. Remove that and just allow for your days to unfold and see where they lead you. Next, we have proposal, an offer or proposal in the near future that comes as a surprise. With this proposal, you could actually one day just wake up and find a very interesting work proposal. There could also be a situation where you've reached out to someone previously and proposed to work with them, but they never got back to you. They could be getting back to you. It's almost like then wasn't the right time. So it could be someone from your past giving you a proposal, asking if you want to work on a specific project. In terms of like how that could be affecting you from moving forward, I'm just hearing drop the grudges, allow for people to explain themselves if they need to. You obviously can have questions for people as well, but just move on and see what you can create today and moving forward. Lastly, we have celebrate. Today, celebrate the love you share with those who matter most. I know that it's been challenging and I know that it has been a battle out in these fields, but it is a really beautiful opportunity, just a really great time in your life to open up your heart and to find forgiveness, to let go of grudges, to really express your gratitude. I love this message coming in for you. It really is about looking at the situations in our life where we're like, ugh, you are such a you-know-what with me. Like, how could you be so mean? Or whatever the case is. Like, taking those situations that are super sour and super challenging, sitting in gratitude and turning to God, turning to your higher self, turning to the universe, to your guides, and asking, like, just show me the silver lining of that. If everything happens for my highest good, everything is for the good of me and the good of all. Why did that situation happen? It all happened for a reason. And if you can actually see the silver lining in those reasons and move yourself away from holding a grudge and holding this armor around you by letting everything just kind of drop, so many shifts are going to happen. So this is what is in the way. Let's remove these cards and figure out a little bit more of how you can find some relief moving forward. So let's put love stories back in the center. And we're going to go back to the Whispering Heart Love Oracle to see how you can find relief, like how you can help yourself to move past that block, to like actually get somewhere with how quickly your feet have been moving for you. Okay, and then we're going to go into the what's blocking you. How you can find relief here. Beauty. Beauty, too many. That was the card. Okay. And then I'm going to grab a couple more cards from the Archangel deck. This is from Diana Cooper. Okay. So how can you find relief? How can you find your way past this block that you're experiencing with getting into the next chapter of your life? We have Archangel Michael. Amazing. Stand in your power. Be true to yourself. Your faith is so strong. It's time to start trusting yourself. Oh, wasn't that so beautiful? And I'm to tell you that this came directly from Archangel Michael. Like, trust yourself. Know that you're divinely protected. Know that you're watched over. He's inching you forward. He's really commending how beautiful your faith is. Next, we have Archangel Rokuel. Enter higher planetary service. Be a blazing light. Love that for you. Maybe something that could be helpful if you're getting into the habit of just starting to speak, or maybe you find yourself sitting and recording your TikTok videos, for example. Let's go there. Recording content for social media, and you could possibly be tripping up the first little bit, the vocal cords, the throat chakra, especially if we've found ourselves in past lives where we were prosecuted for speaking our mind. It takes a bit to really warm the throat chakra up and to really trust that divine love is guiding what it is that we want to say, right? So what can you do? Like, how can you support yourself? I would say, why don't you put on one of your favorite songs, like a sing-along song, and sing the song before sitting down to record, or give one of your friends a call on the phone and have a conversation with them. There's something around needing to warm up your vocal cords before you sit and record your videos for social media, because I'm just getting the sense that what it is you want to say isn't coming up and out as smoothly and as easily as you would like. This could be causing the frustration and the lack of patience, but it's just all about finding different methods that are going to help support your throat chakra, because you have it in you. You're being encouraged and led to speak your truth and to share the things that you've learned from your own unique perspective, because there really is something about your life path that is going to be used in brilliant ways. Rambling Rose. Is that what I am right now? My throat chakra is very warm and I am talking a lot for this pile. Growing apart or getting some space to think, evolving, and outsiders. Meditation could be helpful. Writing your ideas out in a notebook or a journal could be really helpful right now for not feeling like so stuck or so stagnant. Next, we have soul searching, needing to work on some personal issues first. So there could be some past life work that you want to dive into and look into a little bit. The Akashic Tarot is actually the first card that we've read. It's out of this deck. So there is something about diving into some past life energy to see how you can help yourself move forward. Next, we have On the Move, moving away or getting a new home together. This could really be about just shifting your environment. You could be moving, you could be taking some space away from your environment. There could be even something about getting your creative work done even in a coffee shop, like just moving out of the space that you're really used to and switching up your environment, switching up where it is you do your work. There's something about just being in different places that is going to be really inspiring for you. Distance, challenges that create space between you. Long haul, out of touch. Just take some space. Now is a really good time to actually keep yourself in your own personal bubble, have more conversations with your higher self, and just really recognize and acknowledge the energy that is around you right now, like what feels good and what doesn't. Not what looks good and what doesn't, but like what feels good to you. Really tune into how specific people in your life are making you feel. Next, we have holding on. You must release old ties in order to have a fresh start with someone new. Very interesting. Okay. So in terms of career, this is all about the relationships in your life right now. So why don't you take a moment and just kind of clean house? Is it a specific someone that you can have a conversation with? Is it someone that is just impossible to see eye to eye with? Do you have the energy to continue pouring into that relationship? Next, we have insecurities. Work on building your confidence and feeling safe in your relationship. I'm hearing, what's the worst that could happen? Just ask. I could post this video. What's the worst that can happen? Someone can make fun of me. It's like, okay. Next, we have walking away. You leave too quickly when things get challenging. Stay and try to work it out. This has everything to do with your consistency. I promise if you get a couple of things in order and you line up your ducks just a little bit more and ask yourself, how can I be consistent? Do the things that are going to help you out. Understand and realize that you don't need to be an expert at everything, that you will be granted the help required to get you into the next phase of your life. It's just up to you to show up and trust that that's happening for you. Lastly, we have feel unloved. You deserve someone who can support you emotionally and love you fully. I think in this next phase, what's going to happen for you is no sooner are you going to start showing up as your brilliant, authentic self when it comes to your career, when it comes to things that you want to share on your TikTok or on social media, everything that you want to bring to light in terms of what it is that you've been learning and studying over the last little bit. When you start authentically showing up for yourself in those ways and even in being consistent, that in itself is an entire shift in energy. It really reminds you that you are unstoppable when you put your mind to something. Once you start doing that, you're really going to have so much more love, appreciation, and respect for yourself. And in turn, that's only going to be mirrored to you from others in your life. Okay, you beautiful soul. We are going to pull 2 more cards just to figure out your outcome if you do follow this advice, which is exciting. I am being asked to use the Romance Angels Oracle deck. Love that. I love. So let's see. What is your outcome if you do follow this advice? Okay. We have give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. And we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay. Oh, brilliant. I got it. To finish the reading and to figure out your outcome. If you do commit to yourself in this next season of your life and you smash through that buffalo and you express your gratitude and you stay consistent and you really go after your dreams and you cultivate this energy of trust within you and you just allow for your faith to grow and grow, what's going to happen is you are going to come into a partnership that is more than you could have ever asked for. I'm getting divine counterpart partnership. And the reason behind this is because through this work of honoring yourself and really showing up as your authentic self, you are going to very strongly magnetize another individual who is also authentically themselves. You're going to see each other eye to eye. You're going to give each other the inspiration to continue growing, continue expanding in all of the great ways. Really, by being true to yourself, you are setting yourself up to fall into one of the truest partnerships with someone else you have ever experienced against all timelines. What a beautiful outcome. You have chosen the scribe, number 12. Welcome to your reading. So nice to have you here. Okay, to begin, I am going to open up the book to a random angel number, and your angel number is 609, adapt. It may be difficult, but it's not undoable. You are more adaptable than you realize. Your angels show you that your current circumstances may be challenging, but they are not impossible. Take small steps each day to adapt to this new normal. The scribe. Shout out to all my fellow writers. Let's just go into here. The scribe is out of the Akashic Tarot deck by Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. They are twins and they are lovely ladies. I actually loved learning about the Akashic records through them. I said that as if we're buddies and we did it in person, but I have never actually met them. But they were really lovely to watch their courses and everything. The learned scribe writes at a high desk. This card indicates a great upsweep in mind and study for you. This period of higher mind and higher learning is nothing less than a change your life or even change the world opportunity. I'm really picking up on the sense of your life feeling really busy. And I also am hearing that your challenges, even though they are challenges, are seeming much bigger than they actually are right now. And the reason why the angels are coming through and saying this is because they're entirely validating that you do feel overwhelmed. This is for certain, but there's room to alleviate that stress and that anxiety by just figuring out where it is you want to put your energy right now. It's almost like I'm getting this vision that you have 1,000,001 ideas and you want to put all of yourself into everything, but you're being asked to just take smaller bites out of the projects you want to put your energy toward. Let's still do an energy check. So this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. There we go. And I'll pull from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And let's get some cards from the Psychic Tarot. These cards in particular could actually be touching, I'm hearing, on your energy over the last month or so. So let's see what has been happening for you. I'm hearing to start here. Okay, phenomenal. Transformation, victory and success, recognition and reward. Move this over. Let's see. Emotional loss and solar plexus. Love that. Okay, let's flip the others. Purity. Over the last month, you've really started to get very clear on your goals. Like you have a direction you want to go in, and it's like this momentum that's built up is saying nothing is stopping you. We have realization. Okay, I love that. Thank you for the confirmation. We have beauty. You know what I saw when I turned over beauty? It's like everything around you is turned into the brightest technicolor because you do have such clarity with your life and the direction that you're heading. And then we have nourishment. Look how abundant that card is. That's beautiful. So like I said, over the last month, you've had a lot of clarity, a lot of clear moments coming to you in all of the sky images here. There's nothing obstructing your view. I'm hearing your faith is high, your trust in yourself is high. You know the path you want to walk. Your shoes are on, your laces are tied. You're walking on that path. You're not even walking on the path. I'm watching you running along the path. This is how confident you are. And the solar plexus speaks to our inner confidence. It really speaks to our inner drive. Right now is your opportunity to just really go forward. The challenges you are facing is more or less what is preventing you from shining in the brightest way at the moment. But it's like the light is within you and it is expansive and it is shining. There's just a couple of things to clean up in terms of your schedule in order to allow for the light to shine completely through you without any visual obstruction. You have felt victorious. You have felt very successful. You have felt like, wow, like you could actually take a deep breath. I'm not sure if you've been walking up a mountain or if it's felt like maybe the energy of environments or just the energy of where everything was heading previous to this last month. If it's just felt challenging, if it's felt like, oh gosh, am I ever going to get to where it is I know I am supposed to be? You have been very victorious about this. And I'm just looking in at the purity. It's because you have stayed pure of heart in terms of your intentions, in terms of what it is you want to grow. You are the expert the world is waiting for. Those were the exact words that just channeled through. Those are really beautiful. And this realization of your inner power, of your wisdom, of the knowledge you have is just growing clearer and clearer within you every single day. I'm not sure if you have a strong like writing practice or journaling practice or meditation practice, but I'm seeing that this activity or those activities have also picked up in the last month. Oh, the emotional loss. I'm looking at the number 5, and this has everything to do with our changes. I'm hearing great personal change, and of course we have our transformation, and there's a lot of green in these 2 cards, which is really speaking to a heart-centered transformation, a really heart-based change. In terms of the emotional loss, I'm really getting a sense that you have had to make a lot of changes in your life. If that's emotional loss with relationships, maybe even with habits that you clung on to, like habits that you just relived day after day after day because that was your norm. It's like those things were swiped clean and you have stepped into a new reality. Okay, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful energy check. I love that. Okay, in terms of what is standing in your way, let's start by pulling some cards from the Past Life Oracle deck. What is standing in your way? Okay. And we'll also get some cards from the Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, my love. So what is standing in your way? Persecution and inquisition, galactic, communal living. Ooh, those are not centered at all. Phobias, trust and faith, transportation, protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Makes sense. Next we have Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. You are definitely a leader. And then the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Okay, what is standing in your way? Although you've had a very empowering month, like your energy check was really nice. It was really beautiful. The new shifts that have taken place and the new reality you're like sowing your seeds in is still feeling really, really fresh. So there could still be some elements of fears and worries and anxious thoughts that are coming up. A couple of things that are going to be important for you, and we're going to touch more on how you can find relief of these blockages and what's standing in your way in the next portion. But what you might find helpful is affirming how powerful you are and how divinely led you are, and just like how divinely guided you are on your path. Galactic coming up for what's standing in your way is really interesting. I instantly was flashing to your galactic family members, like your galactic community, communicating with your galactic team. I don't see the lines of communication being really strong. Maybe this is something you want to sit in meditation a little bit more. I don't know. I'm hearing, see if you can carve out and devote one day a week for like 20 or 30 minutes and just sit and speak with them and figure out the mission a little bit more closely. You are such a leader. Like you feel like a leader, and visually I can see you standing really, really strong as a leader. I had no idea that the theme of these readings were going to focus so much on past life. I mean, I love past life work. I niche in past life work, but the scribe was actually taken out of the Akashic Tarot and going going into your Akashic records just to see and to understand the persecution from previous lives, to help you remove those cords of trauma and anguish, are going to be very helpful. But there's something there that's blocking you from really confidently moving into the next phase of your life. The other thing that's coming to me actually is a ancestral meditation that I just did with the full moon, and I was seeing a continuous family line pattern that was ready to be released and healed and understood more clearly for me to walk forward more confidently along my path. So maybe that's something that you also want to do as well. With the trust and faith card, I think this is really interesting. I'm getting the sense that you do have trust and you do have faith, but this is an area of your life where maybe you want to build and expand on your practices just a little bit more. Have quiet time out in nature and connect with source, connect with the elements in that way. It's like, how can you raise your vibration and how can you raise your heart center and the amount of love you have with yourself through the anchor of faith a little bit more right now? The communal living card, and actually I want to say like in conjunction with the transportation card, I'm experiencing you hearing and recognizing the energy around thoughts that certain people in your environment are having. Maybe you, your path, and what it is that you want to do and what it is you want to work on. See if you can just remove yourself in any way, even if it's going up the street or going into a different environment to do writing, learning, or speaking one-on-one with your clients. I'm not sure what capacity your work is in, but if you can remove yourself from specific environments, even if it's at work, maybe remove yourself from energy that doesn't feel quite right to you in your workplace and just focus on your work and focus on your tasks in another area of the business. Sisterhood of the Rose is popping up. I am receiving visions that there could be some people in your circle that are actually appearing to be one way when they talk to you face to face, but how they feel with you is different. So that's the thing about like changing up your environment and just doing whatever it is you need to do away from certain people. Don't allow for how things seem to appear and seem to look guide your intention. Really start tuning in right now to feeling into how situations and people are making you feel. By not listening to those indicators and by not trusting those intuitive feelings you do receive around certain people, this could actually be blocking your success as well. Next, I'm being led to protection. So call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. This work is going to be really beneficial for you, especially if you can tune in and really connect to your Akashic records. Maybe you want to sit with the practitioner that goes into records. Maybe you're still working on opening up your third eye. Please feel free, if you feel like I could be a facilitator to help you on the next portion of your journey. I have sessions available. Or if you know of someone else that you've worked with and that you trust and they really help to encourage a positive feeling within you, then book a session with them. Lastly, this card over here, the initiation. We're going to read a little portion of the book just to get the message out. So initiations can require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, and of meaning. Down here where it says work your light action, it says rite of passage, cross the threshold. So this just circles around to the phobias over here. Like our phobias speak to our fears. It speaks to the things that make us really anxious. So what are your fears around the areas in your life you are currently working on, or the areas you're looking to expand in? What are your fears? What are your worries? And how can you view those situations in a different light? How can you smash through them? Because that is what is keeping you stuck. Right now, what you're doing is you're just identifying those last bits of fragments that are causing any fear within you right now. Let's go ahead now and pull some cards for how you can find relief, or how you can find your way into the next phase of your life. We're going to pull from the What's Blocking You deck. Okay, being drawn back into the Work Your Light. So how can you find relief? The Sacred Destiny deck. These are getting very tricky. Yes or no? And the Inner Child Oracle. Starting with practice freedom. Release the weight of judgment. Remember the messages coming up about just getting more clear on how specific people in your life are currently making you feel. You could very well be feeling judged. Next, we have solitude. And we have forgiveness. I'm just hearing you are your strongest campaigner right now. Like, you are your strongest companion. You are your number one fan right now. The medicine to moving forward more fearlessly is to just really build yourself in the most confident, independent way you possibly can. So where is it that you can take a little bit more of a break and more space away from other people? When there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of chatter and a lot of opinions that are being shared, or even just that energetic evil eye that doesn't feel so good coming in at you, it's important to have quiet time, to put the volume down on the outside noise and static and really tune into how you're feeling inside, and really just considering and taking stock of what's happening out there, what is surrounding you, and seeing how it's actually affecting your current situation. That's what it is I'm getting a sense that there are certain people in your life and just certain environments. It could be with where you're going on your weekends. It could be habits along those lines. Whatever the case is, there are people and situations that are surrounding you closely right now that aren't positively affecting how you move forward. Inner Temple. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Okay, so this is coming up for how you can find relief, and it also came up with what is standing in your way. So there really is something about community and getting really clear on the type of community you want surrounding you. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light. Laying foundations, divine plan. I'm just hearing that there's something around thinking specific people were going to help you get from point A to point B, but those people are actually keeping you more stuck than you realize. Need rescuing. You are waiting for love to save you, but you must stop waiting and start looking. Too attached. Give your partner some breathing room. Being too needy drives them away. With these two cards right here, the need rescuing and the too attached, they have too close of a romantic flavor, if you will. And the rest of the reading was really in terms of just shifting gears and taking really great opportunities for yourself. Like, you're feeling really confident, you know the direction that you want to go in, but I have this idea that it's maybe more career focused, or more focused around just other plans that you had in life, your energy check and the cards that came up for the what's standing in your way, it didn't have the partnership flavor to it. However, these two cards that are coming forward really do. It really feels like maybe you're calling in a romantic partner. Maybe you're getting out of a season of your life where it was like really dry and desolate. Or maybe you're just shifting gears from a very fulfilling season into the next. It's like you've accomplished some things for yourself and now you want to accomplish more, but with different people around you. For the singles watching this, you could actually be looking for a partner or wanting a partner. The effort you put into other areas of your life and really calling in the other things you work towards are coming to, and you do amazing in those areas. This area, however, in terms of romance and calling in that romantic partner, this is something that just requires a little bit more action on your end. Classic example, dating apps. Next we have love's the answer. Oh, maybe the partner waiting to come into you is really gonna help you shift gears out of this community that feels really kind of icky around you. There's someone in and around your energy, and it's like, it's that deceiving type. Like they wear a mask. You would never guess it. Oh, this is interesting. I had a friend and we spent a lot of quality time together, but there were a couple of things that she ended up saying near the end of the relationship, because I was like, whoa, a lot of things unfolded. A lot of, I want to say, like serious value infractions unfolded. I was like, whoa, like I can't have a friend like this in my life, because one of my non-negotiable values is truth. Like, don't lie. There's no reason to lie. Anyway, so I found out that I was being woven into some lies and she was openly lying and this, that, and the other. But interestingly enough, within a short span, all of these other little things were being said, were being mentioned, and these little indicators would go off inside of me. And it was like my higher self would ask, does that sound normal to you? So pay attention to the minor, not so minor things that are being spoken about or being mentioned. There's something there. There's something there that your ear chakras are really going to open up to. Once you shift out of this, you are going to find your people and you're going to be calling in a true love. Fated to be alone. You gave up on love because you think you are meant to be alone. It's not true. I'm hearing you are infinitely wonderful and infinitely worthy, and you will find your way out of challenging, sticky situations and really jump on these new opportunities with a full heart once you open your heart and once you understand and realize like just how much love flows through you at all times. Lastly, we have fixing them. You can't fix someone. They have to want to change. Accept them or let them go. Again, we have a really strong message here. Please feel free to comment down below, to like the video, to do anything to let me know that you did receive this message for you. You will find relief once you realize that people just are the way that they are. There is no fixing them. There is no changing them. There is absolutely none of that. So believe who people are. And once you do that, you'll stop fooling yourself. And instead, you'll walk forward into the new reality you're waiting to experience, really. To close out the session, we're just going to pull a card from the Spirit Animal deck. And this is going to represent what your outcome is if you follow the advice that came through today. Amazing. Owl Spirit, You see clearly now. And the number is 43, which adds up to a 7. There's 7 days of the week. There's 7 colors in the rainbow. There's 7 music notes. There are 7 wonders of the world. The message coming through is you will be filled with incredible wisdom. Your knowledge will expand, your heart will expand. Everything about the trajectory of where you are heading right now is so expansive. Your outcome is clarity. And I think it's so fitting because for the past month, you've received this clarity within. And it's almost like you've been given a taste of it, but following through on really paying attention to the indicators, really smashing through fears and working with a practitioner, a facilitator to help you remove any stuck or stagnant energy from previous experiences. Doing all of this, I want to say like cleanup work, is really going to not only allow you to taste that clarity even more, but allow you to be that clarity that you have tasted.